folks, we're going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host right here on TFNN.com, coming to you live inside the eSignal platform at TFNN.Tiger.TV and on your mobile phone anywhere at TFNN.MOBI. Let's check out where the markets are at right now. We got the S&P is up slightly, up 6 points on the day right now. And looking on over at the Russell, it's up 1.6. NASDAQ moving also into positive territory, up over 18, now 19 points on the day. We got the Dow up 44 points, so not a monster up day, but a decent little smooth up day going on. Started last night, just kept on going. Checking on out the metals markets, copper is down a little over 0.5%, gold's down nearly 1%, silver's down almost 0.5%. As of this moment, we got oil is up over 0.5%, up 44 cents on the day. Natural gas is currently down 0.6%, right, or 0.6%. And then looking on over at our ag markets, we got corn up over 1%, up $4. Soybeans down a little less than 1%, down $7, almost $8 right now on the day. Pound dollar's down 17 pips. Euro dollar is down 34. We got the euro pound down 9 pips. Dollar franc is up just a mere 8. Pretty quiet right now. We got the U.S. yen is currently up 13 pips on the day. Euro yen is down 17 pips. Aussie yen is down 6. And the Aussie dollar is down 10 pips on the day. We're going over at our bonds. They're down slightly. We got down about 1/3%. And the dollar index is slightly up with a little bit of dollar strength in comparison to most of the other FX pairs, that basket of currencies that it's looking at. Okay. So let's check out where we're at on everything else today. We want to go through and do our news reviews, and we'll also check out some day trading plans as well. First thing, let's see here. Let's go through. Let me open this on up, and like I said, we'll dive into it here in just a moment. We'll get you going. And you can look over. There's a ton of different sites that have news listed. Now, they will tend to overlist, meaning they'll list important things that aren't really that big of a mover. Okay, they'll say impact and they'll put red and it's supposed to be massive, and they're not necessarily that massive. So you really do want to look overall at everything on them, so that way you can see how they work, and you need to look at the statistics and go, does it really move that much? Maybe it's really important, but does not mean it has a high impact on that currency pair when that release comes out of the gate there. And we are rolling on in here into November 10th. We had a release last night, a release this morning, and also we'll get on over at the ags release. So let's check them out. Let's look at them and pull them on up. And we'll just open a really basic chart right here. We'll start off with the Aussie dollar from yesterday evening, and we'll work our way up from there. Okay, so bringing that up right now, and here we go. Last night we had on the list was we were looking over at the Aussie dollar home loans report, and let's see here, looks like there's a little gap right there, but going on into the evening, we're looking at the 6 to 11. And so tracking this right when the market opened over here, we got 6 o'clock, a little bit further. Let me get that ruler working. There we go. All right, 6 o'clock, we got a release, and then going to 11 o'clock in the evening, taking us out to the 2300 hour here. A little bit bigger move than normal. Got about 30 pips, 31 pips on it. We were expecting 30. Stayed right within the range. Basically, depending upon, your exact entry, exact exit, pretty much right around break even on that trade. But did move and stay within the expectations on the day. Going on into the CAD housing starts report from this morning, and looking that on up, we can check out the trade we had on it, which was we were looking at a 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. time frame, and see how it did. Usually not a massive moving time, even with that number being released. Go over, track that right here at 8 o'clock. Take it on over until we get to 10. So right here, 10 o'clock, a little bit of a pop right there. But 8 to 10, 12 pips. And we were expecting a move of 28 pips or less. So that's good. That means we were able to be profitable on the trade. Remember, this is a neutral trade. We're buying a spread below the market, selling a spread above the market, bringing in 28 pips of profit or more on the trade. So long as it stays within that range, every tick less than that number we're talking about there, then we're making some money. And if so many people want to go in right away out of the gate and they just want to strangle and straddle everything, and they're like, that's the magic, thing. Well, not so much. The market builds those prices in, and it, of course, leans itself more towards those who are looking for the easy straddle strangle than those who are willing to actually put up the cash and manage the risk on the boring premium collection, butterflies and condors, the iron ones. All right, we also had like an ag report. Let's check on out, see if we got what kind of little spikes of movement we got earlier today. And I'll pull up corn and soybeans here. So on the corn report, and reports come out at 12, we can see we did get a massive spike and popped on up, hit a deviation, came right on back down to settlement, and opens its self up for a lot of potential trades. Whether that be Iron Condor, straddles, strangles. Always the key on on straddles or strangles. Let me see here. Let me write this. Strangles is taking profit. Also, always check for Iron Condors. Just going to add this into my plan. When premium is high. Okay? So, but anyway, so you go right in here. You get in first thing in the morning. I mean, you got a deviation up, a deviation down move. It pops up a deviation. Bam. You take the profit. You get out of the trade. Moved a solid 11 points up. That's a big move right there. And great move on corn. If you got in the thing, you got plenty of movement, plenty of time right there to let the thing work for you. Going on down to soybeans, and even if you pulled up an Iron Condor, the thing came on back down flat. Hopping on over to soybeans, we got a little bit bigger move. It flew on up to that one deviation level, which was beautiful. If you pulled off a strangle on this, you're really happy because you hopped in here, it ran on up to a deviation, and now it's actually moving on down to negative 0.7, may even going down to -1. You could actually have a trade that's profitable on both sides of the trade. And really, it's an awesome way when you can put a trade on. Let me see if I can. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. I think their demo. I know they're going to put this back into live. They're just adding on features and all this stuff. Let me see if I can pull up these contracts for you. Give me 1 second. And if I can pull them up, then I might be able to show you exactly, like visually show you what I mean here. And come on. Just give me problems here. All right, there it goes. All right, it's like, is the thing going to lock me out or what? Okay. So now that we got that up, let me go in and I'll see if I can find these, because this is a perfect example. So we open up this morning, and we're trading right around 1036. Okay, so we got basically a 1040 to 1080. And so let's see what the premium pricing looks like up here, if it'll give us a chart that we want. Like I said, just trying to see if I can make this thing work. And then we'll go over here. We'll try this one out, see if it will work for us. They may not work. I know they're doing a lot of new stuff inside these tickets. And let me close that one down and tear this one off. This one seems to be working inside the platform. Okay, that's good. All right, so I got that one. Let me try to get the other one again real quick, the one above the market. If I can get it to populate correctly, then I'll be able to really easily display this to you. But it's not helping me if it does it only if it only gives me half. It's like, come on. Okay, well, I can show you half of the formula. That's 1,000 to 1,080 showing up. Need 1,000 to 1,040 to really show you what's going on. Okay, but here is the, okay, got 1,000 to 1,040. There we go. All right, half of the equation is accomplished. There we go. All right. And then this one, 1,000 to 1,080. We don't need that. Now let's get the 1,040 to 1,080. If we can get that one to work, maybe like the 5th time here's a charm. Then I can show you what I mean. But what I'm looking at is back here, like right at 10:30 when they open up, you're able to get in the trade for around 10:34. Okay? And that moves on down to 10. Right now it's at 10.25. Okay, on the price right there. So if you can get in this for 10.34 and the ceiling is 10.40, with the price, let's see, at what time here? At 10.30. Let's go. What is the price at 10.30? It's at 10.46. Okay. So we got about, that was not going to have that much premium. It's about 10.46 to about 10.55. So it'll probably be very, very low in premium considering where the price is at. There's also just a great example, if you were directional, how it would save you. But if you got it on this contract right here and you went short, we'll just go with that example first, and then maybe if I can get the other chart to work, then I'll show that to you. But if you got in over here at 10:30, okay, I'll pin this one to the top, maybe drag it over. We'll line it up with the 10:30 price. So the charts are really lining up for us right there. And then we'll squish this down a little bit. So we can basically just show, if you were to have got in on this contract, get a little bit more, don't we? Trying to find a good spot for it. Give me 1 second right here during the break. I'm going to get this chart all lined up for you. I just want to show you the power of these spreads, and this is a great example to do so. Stay right there. All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm trying to come up with one example for you, but having a little technical difficulty, so I want to go ahead and make sure you get something out of all this. And what I wanted to show you was for some of you that are newer to spreads to understand this concept here. Let's say corn's going up or soybeans going up, or whatever. You think it's going to go down on the report. You decide to take a short. Well, that's a pretty dangerous position. Or maybe you already have a long, and that's a very dangerous position. So you can either hedge off, you could close out, or you could use a spread. So now hedging, you can actually use spreads. Think of spreads as options for day traders, like vanilla options for a day trader. So like if you were long, corn contract, you could short the spreads. If you were long the soybeans, you could short the spreads, or vice versa. If you're short the soybeans, you could buy, go long the spreads, and have an option with very little timed expiration. Why would you want that? Well, because you're going to get very little premium of money you're putting up front, which means if it does go in your favor, you're not giving up all of that profit, okay, to that premium that's being burnt as the market moves in your favor. Also, it moves a lot faster for you. So if it does go against you, you get a really good hedge, meaning that gamma accelerates your delta to a 1, and you make money faster to cover your position. So right here, what I want to look at for you is let's soybeans. Like, let's just say instead of going short soybeans or long soybeans, let's say you decide to go short a soybean spread instead of short a soybean contract, or instead of short a soybean contract and long a spread to hedge it. And when you do this, let's just say you got in right here about 10.34 on the contract, and the market starts, oscillating around, and then pops up. It flies up to 10.55. Okay, it flies way against you, all the way up to 10.55 on the trade. And, you knew you were buying it, lower than where the market was at. Your ceiling's at 10.40. The market's already up at 10.46, okay? So you're buying it out of the money put is essentially what you're doing here, okay? Market flies up, you have capped risk, basically $60 a contract. Flies down, you can make quite a bit of money, down to $1,000. If you sold at 10.34, you can make up to $340. Your expectation is that it'll probably fly down to a deviation. That's at 10.17. Well, if you entered right over here and you got in on this trade at, right around 10.34, it got down to 10.17, you're looking at, about $170 in profit on a $60 risk trade without any kind of stop loss. So all in all, not a bad trade. Didn't have to worry about your risk ever increasing after you got in the trade. Didn't have to hop out of the trade when it popped up. Notice it popped up, it hit the +1 deviation level, turned right back around and set you up for a really, really good short trade in the process. And that's sort of the thing I wanted to highlight to you is this is a way, if you do want to trade directionally, on news, then you could do this right here. You could go in and you could use spreads to trade directionally. Or if you were already in a directional position, and let's say you were already short soybeans, you could have went long a spread. You're already long soybeans, you could have went short a spread to help hedge that loss when that massive move happened. And it could have hurt you, but instead of hurting you, you actually were able to minimize that loss by using an insurance plan, a option, which is cash settled. You don't have to do anything about it. It's just simply a cash settled plan. And it's a way to trade the news without getting spiked out of, a trade itself. So, there's a lot of little benefits here and there. I want to point out some of them to you. So this is a way to, trade, directionally on the ags report and not get spiked out, because whenever it moves, it gets you. And again, or maybe you're just an ag trader. You don't want to hop out of position just because the report's coming out. This is a way to hedge that position off. Yeah, you'll give up a little bit of profit. But the biggest thing is we just want to make sure we do have, some sort of risk management plan in place to take, basically to do that. Okay, so that wraps up the rep there on the soybeans and ags conversation, and I want to dive in and get it. And not just that I want to talk about soybeans and ags, but I wanted to make sure that you were sort of seeing what I was talking about there by having the advantages there, that you're not missing out on those opportunities that are right in front of you. I'm doing a little bit of quick chart review. We'll check out some headlines. We'll talk about tomorrow's news as well. As far as just doing some quick chart reviews, not the day trading plan specifically, but just some quick chart reviews. Got Aussie dollar, a little bit choppy later. We'll go and do it when we get back. But started heading on south this morning for a nice short setup. Stay right there. We'll be back right after this break. All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And we're checking out the Aussie dollar where it was pulling on back south there. So we got that right here in the morning. Pretty neutral and worked out well for neutral MVP trading. Didn't really get a nice directional trade till a little bit, like I said, earlier this morning there, just before 7 o'clock. But then it definitely moved on down for us, doing a nice pullback. We'll get on over at the euro-yen. I got a nice little south down move, and using 10-minute deviation stop method worked okay. Then we moved on up and got a great long first thing in the morning. Second one just sort of went oscillated. Would have been a great flat trade, not so much a directional trade for you. It didn't hurt you. It didn't really help you. Euro USD gave a little long there, nice little pop, and then a drop that definitely called the move down, basically almost a 1 deviation drop from that MVP call, coming on back down on the Euro USD. Pound dollar. On that end of things, going ahead and looking at it, and like I said, it was pretty. Most things were pretty neutral overnight. Didn't have just a whole lot of movement, but then pound dollar early this morning started to set up for a good short, and then it took off with it and ran on down. We got the dollar index moving up. Had a little short, very minor short, almost a break even. Not a lot to it. A great neutrality trade for a Nadex, but that long trade worked out great for Nadex futures Forex traders with their MVP just taking off and moving on up from -1 to positive 0.5 deviations by noon there, giving us a 1.5 deviation move on the way up. We got the S&P doing some movement today, and looking at the MVP on it, it took it a little bit. It was just sort of chopping. Then it woke up, popped up to half a deviation, and set us up well for a good trade on that one. This morning got a nice long on the day trading plan there as well. We'll pull those up here in a second. Checking out oil. Oil just sort of, flat to choppy overnight. Gave a little bit of a bump, not massive there in the morning, but when the markets opened up this morning, it fell down fast and furious all the way down. Basically 1.5, almost 1.7 deviation move drop, and just went straight down. Solid, more than a 1 deviation move. And we had gold also popping on down. down a one deviation move and just been going south on it all night. And as you can see there, 1 a.m., 5 a.m., 8 a.m., just south, 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 and just getting sell signals across the board on the thing. Some general news going on out there today. We got stocks surging back through Fridays. Jobs data was okay after all. Whatever. And then the China-India gold demand is, picking back up, going back into place. So it'll be interesting to see how that really, picks up. I think that there will be definitely some increase in gold here. I think we're just going to have to wait it out, let it do its thing. Dollar still dominating as Europe is having its issues there. Alibaba, $1 billion in single-day sales in 17 minutes. That's insane. So gearing up for Singles Day. And anyways, that's like I said, Alibaba, $1 billion in 17 minutes. Canada stocks rising fourth day as BlackBerry and Lightstream rally on up. Looking on over, I like Lightstream. We use Lightstream for some stuff. Looking on over at the crude oil prices. They're sliding on down. We talked about that already. Let me pull this out, get this out of the way. But crude oil prices there and copper erasing a lot of its gains. A lot of that was driven actually by the Chinese data that came out last night. And for today's news, we talked about last night's Iron Condor. We talked about this morning Iron Condor. We went over the waged report and different ways to trade that. What news do we got going on tonight that you need to be aware of? So let me pull that up next here. And we'll talk about tonight. We'll talk about tomorrow. Get you all caught up and ready to go. All right. So for tonight, we got the Aussie dollar NAB business confidence report. Nothing that's major, but it is something just to again be aware of. Current account coming out of the yen at 650. Aussie dollar NAB confidence report coming out at 730. For tomorrow, France has a bank holiday. Canada has bank holiday. U.S. has bank holiday. Thank you out there to all of our veterans. And my daughter's going to sing at a veteran event tomorrow, so I'll be out tomorrow and be attending that and helping out with some stuff for her school. But pretty proud of her. She's in the choir and doing pretty good at that, so she's going to be out there singing, and just be fun to watch her. And think they'll enjoy it. We also have weekly weather crop coming out. That's normal. Aussie dollar Westpac consumer sentiment coming out tomorrow night. We're going to have the yen tertiary industry activity coming out tomorrow night at 650. Aussie wage price index. We are going to be getting into a straddle tomorrow evening for a Wednesday morning release. We're going to enter on Tuesday night at 11 p.m. for a 7 a.m. on Wednesday expiration. We're going to be looking for a straddle here that's going to be on the climate count change, unemployment rate, and average earnings index. And so definitely go in and check that one out. That will be our one big straddle report. It looks like we have for the week. Not a whole lot of those. And there we go. So we got that one coming out, and then we also have the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Euro Industrial Production Report, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum profit of $35 we're looking for on this trade right here. And so, again, that's an 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. trade. So we'll get in the evening, take that to the morning, and hopefully, like I said, we'll buy the lower spread, we'll sell the upper spread. The maximum profit on both spreads combined needs to be at a minimum of $35. Trading that over on Nadex. If let's see, that's pretty much what we have today and tomorrow. By the way, if you don't know what this whole Nadex thing is, you keep hearing me talk about it. I trade futures, I trade Forex, I also trade Nadex. It's basically just futures and Forex options. If you hop on over to tfn.com, click on the Nadex banner on the right side of the page, you can get a demo account under Trading Demo Trading Platform. Fill in the username, first name, last name, phone number, and email address. If you're a resident of the United States, U.S. territories, Canada, or Mexico, you're eligible for an account directly with the exchange, meaning no brokers in between you, which is nice. They do not trade, by the way, against you. They are an exchange, market makers and other traders on the other side of the trades. They are in Chicago. They are regulated by the CFTC, same regulatory body that regulates and oversees the CME. To get a live account, maybe you want the day day trade, but you've been afraid. Maybe you didn't have the money. If you want to day trade stocks, you got to have at least $25,000 in your account to do more than 3 round turns, like in a week or whatever it is. So maybe you don't have the cash, or maybe you didn't know you could do it at night. So that can happen to a lot of people. They don't know that they can trade at night when the futures and Forex markets are open. Or maybe you're like, that margin on that future stuff and those ticks are really weird, and I don't understand FX conversion and all that. Well, if it's the margin issue, your risk, the amount you put up is your max risk on the trade. It can never grow. You cannot get margin calls. Your risk is completely defined. You will know before you get into a trade what the risk is. It can be $5, $10, $30, $100, $500, okay? But you will know, and you'll be able to adjust your size as well to do as minimum as 1. There's no day trading rules, meaning you don't have to have a certain account size. To open an account, you need a minimum deposit of $100, okay? Obviously, most people put in more than $100, but it's not that hard to, get going. As far as worrying about weird ticks and weird pips and cross FX conversion and tick values, Nadex makes it super easy on their spreads, which are more like trading the underlying market. Every tick, every pip is worth $1. So they all tick in an increment of 1. So whether it be 1 or 0.1 or 0.01 or 0.001 or 0.0001, they all tick an increment of 1. And now some people may go, what about like with the S&P where the futures tick in quarters? Well, they tick tighter. They tick like the full-size contracts in dimes. So they take 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 when the S&P is ticking 0.25. Okay? But they keep it really simple. They make it really easy. They let you define your risk. You can trade day or night on a U.S. regulated exchange, and they're not trading against you. It takes about 5 minutes to open an account from going directly on, like I said, that TFN banner, click on Nadex, and then click on Open an Account for free. Of course, I do recommend you do have a demo at all times. Once you get your live account opened and you funded it with at least $100 and you placed at least 1 trade, it doesn't matter if you put it $100 or $100,000 in, it doesn't matter if you placed 1 contract for $10 risk or 100 contracts for $5,000 risk or whatever. Once you placed the minimum deposit to open the account and placed at least 1 live trade, you can contact their customer service department and get that demo extended out for a year. So that way you can keep using that going forward to do your trades, okay, and to learn to practice. A lot of new things coming out, a lot of ideas you're going to have, and you want to test those out. And feel free to hop over in the scanner we have over at TFNN as well, and let us know what questions you have, so that way we can help you on this. Okay, let's see. Next thing we have right here. Let's see, that was our leaderboard right there, wasn't it, from the trading competition? Yeah, we had some people that really knocked it out of the park. Anyways, but looking on over here on what all we got going on, you can check out the scanner as well directly from there. That gets really all of our news. That takes care of everything we have going on for the week. Going into the next thing we can check out is checking out the day trading plans. And so let me pull those up, and we'll check them out. We'll walk through them real quick and to see what we got. We got the S&P took off this morning. We caught that like really first thing in the morning, right there at an entry at 2022 with target 1 at 2025, target 2 at 2034. And really just expecting if it does continue, 2038, 2043, 2050, just really going up. But basically had 5 targets built in there. And so we'll see where it keeps going. But right now, looking pretty flat, looking like the market might be pretty done for the day. Volume really has died off. And that was the easy money right there. We said there's not a whole lot happening on S&P, but at least the trade worked out. Looking on over at the Russell, a lot of no man's land going on. Just not getting massive movements today in the indices overall. But let's see here. What do we got? Let me bring it down. Here we go. I'm trying to get the thing to focus correctly. Bring that down, and then bring that up, and then bring this up. We'll get it up there. Come on. Oh, my gosh. There we go. We're almost there. Okay. And there we go. All right, so we had a short at 1177, came on down to 1171, took profit on that trade as well. Did not have a target 2. And so did a great short trade right there on the Russell, and that one we were able to get into a decent hour here. Most recently around 11 o'clock. Going in looking at, and let me make sure I have these set to not auto scale. See, visual, audible, auto scale. Yeah, that's set to false. Okay. All right, so that gives us a Russell. Let me scroll down. We'll run through some other pairs. Oil had quite a few movements on it today. Looking at oil, it ran up, out first thing this morning. Just boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, ran right up. Took profit on the long. Then it had a short, got out with a little bit of profit right there. Or if you held on to the trade the entire time, right to the stop, would have had. If you're trading at 4 a.m. So, sort of chopped around a little bit in the early morning hours. Now, if you got on in here, we did get a nice short coming into the normal session that most people are trading, where all the volume, as you can see, picks up. We went ahead and went short right there at 79.30, went on down and hit our target. Right as we hit the target, busted on back through that same entry we had earlier, and but did so on pretty decent volume as well. So it just came on right into that. But then we said, hey, you know what? If it breaks through that, let's keep going short. Let's just pile on. So we went in, boom, went short. We hit target 1. We hit target 2. Went on down. We had another entry. We hit target 1 on that one. And on that one, it's just sort of oscillating right now. But we got, 1, 2, 3 solid shorts, multiple targets hit. This morning, one long trade went against us, but overall, nice net profit on oil. Going in and checking out gold. So gold did move on down for us, just came on down here, not doing a whole lot, just sort of oscillating around. But we did go down. We hit our target, and we were able to make a very small profit. It was just a really, really short target on that trade. Going right into the one deviation. Didn't want to play it real heavy. And it popped on back up, gave us a reset right here. We got in again 11.58, coming on back down for 11.56. We're at 11.56, 0.4. I'd be tight on that stop to break even. But it looks like we may get that trade again for another potential profit trade. We do have some other targets lower if it'll keep going, but I just move it to break even if you're not going to take it and see if it'll keep going down or not. But it looks like we're sitting right there at that one deviation level on gold. And was sort of a lot of a no man's land going on in the middle. So I just try to stay out of the way on that one today. Going on over, looking at, that covers our ags, that covers our indices. We'll knock out the FX when we get back after this break. All right, folks, come on back here to the Diagnostic Trigger Set Gold, about to hit that profit target again for the second time, taking that profit 2 times. Gonna love that. Let's go ahead and check out where we're at on our foreign exchange pairs and see how that's doing. Looking on over at the Aussie dollar, it had a nice short last night, went on down, hit target 1 and target 2 for a profit right there of around 35 pips on that trade total. And came on down. We had a long entry, but unfortunately didn't really get the momentum on that. Hit it, didn't break the bar within 1, 2, 3 bars. The second bar didn't break the first bar. So we're out of the trade there with a pretty small loss, like 5 ticks on the trade. Out of the trade, went ahead and went down. But we got 40, like I said, getting a 35 on that one, minus 5. So net 30 pips profitable on the Aussie. Hopping on over to the euro dollar. And looking at that, overall, we've done pretty well on these plans today. It's been a nice day. Came on in and got in and got out right there along early in the morning if you're trading at 6 a.m. Same thing for 4 a.m. But if we go on down to the normal hours, when people actually do start trading here, right here around 7:30, 8 o'clock, going in, going short, and market moves on down. We were able to take profit on that trade, 24.85. Hits on down to 24.64. Get about a little over 20 ticks of profit on the trade. And moved down for a long potential entry, 1, 2, 3, sort of the exact same thing as the Aussie, in and out of the trade with about a 5-tick exit on that. Going on over here on the short, this one's still playing around. It's taken so long now. We're in this trade for, 2 hours? If I'm in this trade, I'm tightening my stop. I ain't going to let the thing go all the way back up. It's moved to deviation high to low. Even though it's not at a -1 deviation, it's moved to deviation high to low. We got that half up, then that half down. That does change things up, so I'd be tightening up right now. Let's see, that's a euro dollar. Going on into the pound dollar. And over here on the pound dollar, checking that out. It came on down, pop, hit it, triggered it. Stayed in the trade, went on up, hit target 1. Didn't go into target 2, but got target 1, hit that one solid, came on back down. Got a short, did break it, didn't hit the stop loss, moved on down, just took profit on that trade from this morning, and did really well on the pound. And the last one we got up here is the dollar yen. Looking on over at the dollar yen, we had buy, because they're printing. It goes up, pop, 1, 2, 3. Sort of, didn't get any momentum on that first hit. So just get out of that trade, take a small loss, move on. Second trade, we definitely nail it. Grab 40-plus pips on the trade. And got another entry. Be a little bit careful on this one again. We're moving from a massive move down to a move back up. We're pushing a 1 deviation level. I would be you should have already, just based on the 50% rule, okay, which is going from entry to target 1. I tighten my stops on up, whatever my target is. I hit that, boom, we hit it. I'm going to move my stop to break even, and I'm just going to back out of the trade. So, but anyways, a beautiful trade right there. Worked out really well. And overall, nice, profitable day. All right, well, that wraps up the day trading plans for today. Also putting us on over here, checking everything else out, and seeing where we are with the market wrap for the end of the lunchtime hour. The S&P is up 5 points. We got the Russell sort of flat on the day, starting to pull back a little bit. And going on over, looking at where we're at on the other indices, we got Nasdaq is still positive 18. Dow is up 28 points. Metals are all in negative territory. Energies are mixed with oil up and natural gas down. And dollar still holding on to some strength. Not a whole lot, but still has a little bit going on right there. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you Wednesday on the Diagnostic Trading Hour.